Oh, we got people joining already. Brilliant. Hello, hello. I'm gonna message you with process. I was gonna say something else to you, Joseph, but I can't quite remember. But hmm, yeah, I suppose I don't know. Um, I'm just gonna clean up my gym clothes from the floor, put them somewhere
Okay.
else. How about here? That's a good place.
Yeah,
That's a good
it's
place
out
for
of
me.
shot.
Out of shot. That's all that matters really with gym clothes. Out of shot. Well, I say they're gym clothes. It's not like I went to the gym this morning, but I prepared. I prepared. Yeah, I wanted to, but
Good
yeah,
intentions.
I had all the best of intentions, but then I had a kid sleeping in
Yeah,
his face.
yeah. I've started jogging back from the nursery drop off to
Oh, really?
force it into the day. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jeanette started doing tennis, and I'm like, you know what? I might give that a go because it's yeah. I normally do 6 a.m. 6 a.m. at the gym, and I get back for 7 and do the kid run. But if I don't get if I have a kid sleeping on my face,
Yeah,
then
exactly.
you're getting up at 5. You're like, do you know what? It's all right. Not this week.
Yep, I hear you.
Yeah. All right. Let's wait.
You don't feel like investing in a under desk treadmill.
I bought one.
Oh, you did.
I bought one, and I swear, I tried it. I'm not joking. It wasn't even for 1 minute, and I was like, this isn't happening. I'm
Mm.
not doing this, and I sent it back. I do have a Peloton, which I
Mm.
used for a while, but then there needs to be like I don't know, if there was a nursery with a gym, do you know what I mean, or something like that. I'd go do that.
Isn't that the kind of that's like if you work at Google
Yeah,
or whatever, they just have the nursery, the gym, the
yeah,
laundry, the everything all on site.
yeah, yeah.
Never stop working.
One of the Microsoft campus in Reading, they
Mm.
have quite a good nursery actually. But you literally on campus, so you drop. This is actually a really nice idea. You drop your kid, but then you're just going to work. They also
Mm.
had a nice gym. They also had a doctor's. They also had everything. So it was all like, yeah, everything there. My friend works at Meta though, so we're just casually chatting to the attendees. Hi, my friend works at Meta, and he was like, yeah, he's always telling me about everything that they've got. It's kind of crazy,
Mm.
crazy at Meta at least. Yeah, yeah, cool.
So we are live streaming
Oh,
on YouTube as well. I have not started
I
the
love Meta.
recording yet. Hey?
I love Meta. I was great. I was talking very positively about all the things. He
Yeah.
did say that they stopped the smoked salmon
Um,
during the hard times. The hard time, the smoked salmon was stopped at the canteen. So yeah, they cash. But yeah, it's back now. Yeah.
but it's weird. We've only got three attendees. Normally we're
Oh
a few minutes ahead. We've normally got an extra 10 or 15.
yeah. Well,
Maybe they're
Google Pixel
filtering
6
in.
has joined, so that's good. Hi everyone. I think people are just going to join as they come along. Oh, oh, some new submissions come through very recently. You probably recognize them. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Hi all. Welcome, welcome. We'll be starting in a minute or two. Oh, I might as well start sharing my screen. Am I sharing the right thing? I think so. I've just found some new. Sorry, this is I shouldn't be. Oh wow! Check this out. Didn't know you could do this. There's a new Zoom. It's a
Nice.
new Zoom feature. I'm not sure. Completely unaware of this one. I'll keep it. I'll keep it there for now. We'll see what happens. Okay, where are we at with people? Hi everyone. Oh, hmm, here we go. We're starting now, so some people should be joining shortly. Here we go. Awesome. Yeah, we're getting some new attendees. Brilliant. Let's just give it a minute or two for people who just finishing their last meetings to come join in this meeting. I know with these busy days, you can just be ping-ponging between meetings um, and the like. And brilliant, wonderful. Thanks, Joseph. Let me get this up here. Awesome. So while people are joining, oh, hi Adam. While people are joining, I will just start talking. So, welcome everyone. Today is the launch ceremony for the Carbon Hack, which we've been planning and talking about for quite a while. We're all really excited. I can see everybody, the excitement is building all over the place, actually. I can see a lot of commentary online also. So, welcome. Um, so what we're going to do today is, in terms of the launch, is I'm just going to, again, for everybody who's perhaps pretty new to the hackathon, I'm just going to review very quickly what the hackathon is. For those of you who have joined and registered, I'm also just going to go through the process so you all fully understand what it is, how the hackathon will run, what the different steps are. I'll go through the prizes as well, and I'll talk through a little bit, kind of a little bit more kind of what the submission process will be like, because we've never really spoken about that so far. I'm also going to share workshop material. So we ran a workshop last week as well, and for those of you who couldn't manage to attend, we've got a recording with various materials that we can share with you. And then we're going to invite. So we reached out to a number of people. I think Adam's one of them. So we reached out to a number of people and who have who are recruiting for their projects. Going to invite them at the second half of this talk just to come on, give a quick seeing how much time we've got, but maybe like five something plus minutes, depending on how many people we've got, to kind of talk through your project, pitch, explain it to others, see if you can find some if you're looking for recruiting, just see if you can find a matchmaking process. And and then yeah, that's where we are right now. If you want to, I would in Oh, interesting. There's a question. Is it okay to share the YouTube link as I can't see anywhere anything in Zoom due to low? There we go. Brilliant. Thank you. Um, Yeah, feel free to say hi, say who you are, where you're from, why you're interested in taking part with this right now. That is really, really useful for us to see. And if you have any questions, it's preferable if you to ask those questions using the Q&A panel, because then we can kind of clearly track it and then we can make sure to make sure they all get answered. If it's in the chat, sometimes it can just get lost as you go out the screen. All right, everyone. So with that all in hand, let me talk through the hackathon process. So just the hackathon itself. So the hackathon is our annual hackathon. This year it's about impact framework. It's really about measuring software emissions using a tool that we've created called the impact framework. Um, we have, and I there's still two sponsors that we're just finalizing, but we'll have between 8 and 9 sponsors. So that means the prize fund is going to be about $40,000 to $45,000. All of that money goes into the prizes, which we'll talk about below. But we're just waiting for the final people to sign before we can kind of start talking about how that start actually giving you kind of per prize what the prize fund will be. We also have two wonderful community partners who partnering up with us with this hackathon. That is Microsoft and Electricity Maps. And what that means is Microsoft has offered a whole bunch of Azure credits, and Electricity Maps has offered us access to their APIs and various data services. Once you register, you can just email us and we'll connect to the dots and give you access to that. Hackathon starts today. Hackathon ends on the 8th of April. So you'll have to have submitted your hackathon solution by midnight, the 8th of April. And I'll explain a little bit about what that will look like today. And on the 18th of April, we'll have an online award ceremony where we'll announce all the winners. We have a number of prize categories here. We have best plugin, a plugin that best supports and enhances the impact framework ecosystem. Beyond Carbon is a very specific type of plugin that enables people to measure impact beyond carbon. So that's the Beyond Carbon prize. We have best content, which is best educational content published about impact framework. It can be anything from a case study applying impact framework to a domain. It can be a tutorial, it can be a video, whatever it is. If it's an educational piece of content about impact framework, it can come under the best content prize category. We have best contribution, and that is pretty much any software solution which isn't a plugin to impact framework. So anything, any software solution which kind of sits a little bit tangential, that's not the word I mean, to the side of impact framework for creating, running manifest files, from things to help the developer experience. If you're making impact framework easier to use for users or developers, that's what comes into best contribution. And we all also have a best undergraduates and under 18s prize as well. So if your entire team is made up of undergraduates or under 18s, if I press the button, yes, no, it's okay. You may also additionally win that prize also. Hopefully I'm coming up. I'm using a funky feature of Zoom that I've never seen before, but let's see if it works. Yeah, so that's basically the prizes. Again, if you have not already signed up, I don't see how you could possibly be on this call if you haven't signed up. But if let's just say you haven't signed up, please go to the hack.greensoftware.foundation website and please just sign up here. Your first name, your last name, your email, and your username, and then that will make sure that you'll guarantee to get all the emails if you at least signed up to this mailing list. So it's very, very important that you're signed up to this. Reviewed the website. Let me talk about the prizes a bit more detail. So if you go to our wiki, wow, 44 issues. If you go to our wiki, so if you go our wiki, GitHub, which has a wiki, if you go to our GitHub, this is where the hackathon platform itself, it's all being run on GitHub. Most of you or some of you will have raised your issues, your project issues already in the issues section there. But I just want to make sure everybody sees the wiki here. If you click on the wiki, there you'll find your participant guide for leading a hackathon or you wanting to join a hackathon project. And very specifically, I want to point you towards this stuff on the side, which is frequently asked questions. Have a read of that. Make sure you read all of that stuff. Uh, Also, rules and terms. Make sure you read all of that. We have certain rules. For instance, we've got rules that you cannot um, uh, you can't exist in any of these countries because unfortunately we cannot pay you. It's not possible for us to pay you. We're a US based organization. We cannot pay anybody in we don't transfer money to anybody in those countries. So make sure that's something that you've considered as you take part in the hackathon, but also take a look at the other rules there. It's very important. And also our code of conduct. Please take a look at code of conduct. Make sure you agree to it. Make sure you understand it. We take that very seriously. But very importantly, this is the prizes section, prizes and judging. As you now start thinking through building your project, keep at the top of your mind how you will be judged. Because if you ignore that, by the time it comes to creating the material for the judges to pitch them your solution, if you're out of sync with what the judging criteria is, you'll have to put a lot of effort to get back in sync. So keep in mind right now, what are the judges going to be looking at to judge your prizes? Now, each prize section has a slightly different set of judging criteria. So it's very important which one you pick. You may have picked one already as you submit the form. That's fine. We ask you to pick a prize straight away. That's so that we can help nurture you and guide you into the right direction. But if by the time you work through your project and you're actually about to submit, you're like, do you know what? I went for best plugin, but actually I maybe I'm best content now. Like as you develop your solution, you might change which prize category you want to go for, and that's fine. All that matters is when you actually come to submit your solution at the end, that's the prize category that we will judge you against. We'll ask you again, what is your prize category for the solution you are submitting? And that's the moment it's very, very important. So again, as I said before, we've got Beyond Carbon, Best Plugin, Best Content, Best Contribution. Best Undergrad and Age Under 18s is an accessory prize. You'll get that in addition to these other prizes if you or all just by themselves. There's no specific criteria from that other than just being an undergraduate under 18. Take a look at the Beyond Carbon, for instance. You're going to get judged on overall impact, educational value, and synthesizing. Excuse me, synthesizing. So there'll be a 1 to 5 score. I think five is the highest that judges will give you on overall impact. A 1 to 5 score they'll give you on educational value, and a 1 to 5 score they'll give you on synthesizing. So overall impact is what potential will this model have on the broader sustainability movement? What things need to happen for that impact to occur? Educational value. Does the project help people understand more about emissions and planetary boundaries? Imagine a good teacher making complex topics easy to grasp and sparking interest in learning more. What's the educational value? And synthesizing, which is how well does a model integrate and combine information from existing research? Are there coefficients, methodology, or technologies backed up with good solutions? How can we trust the outputs of this model are correct? That's what comes from Beyond Carbon prize category. When you finally come to submit, your submission form, if you choose Beyond Carbon, will ask you to enter data for some text for these three values, and the judges will read those and then judge you. There'll be a lot of other information they'll be judging you on, but you need to make sure that these are covered at the very least, because they are going to hyper focus on these as well. So it's very, very important, depending on the solution that you are, on the prize category you're aiming for, read. So you can see here, it's got slightly different judging criteria. It's got slightly different judging criteria depending on what you are aiming for. So it's very, very important that you understand what your judging criteria are. And just start thinking now, as you start building up your project, start thinking now, if I'm going to have to um, be judged on this criteria. Let me build my solution so that it positively supports that criteria. Try and think through that way. Go backwards. Go to the end and plan for the end now. Um, Brilliant. Any questions? No questions? No questions. Okay, awesome. And again, please feel free to introduce yourself. I'm going to introduce, you know what? I've done it again. Who am I? Who am I? I'm just some dude talking to you on Zoom. My name is Asim Hussain. I am the executive director of the Green Software Foundation. And for the last, I don't know how many years now, I've been focusing on the intersection of software and sustainability, which is where the foundation first began. I'm based in the UK, near the south, about an hour outside of London. Joseph, sorry, just introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name's Joseph. I am project manager and a developer on the Impact Framework. I arrived here at the intersection of software and environmentalism from an environmental science background. I was an academic writing components for climate models for 13 years, then moved into software and out of academia, and then found myself here at the intersection, joining those interests. I've been here for 7 months. Thank you.
Awesome. And why don't you all just feel free to introduce yourself in the chat? You know, say who you are, where you're from. It's kind of fairly like a ghost town there right now. It's just us chatting. So feel free to chat, um, and let us know where you're from, and what you're doing here, and if you're taking part in a project, what project you're taking part in. Okay. Now I've gone through the prizes. I'm just going to review the process a little bit so you're aware kind of uh, how that works. Participant guide. So there's a couple of different steps that you should be taking, and I don't know where each of you are on this process, but I just want to make sure you're all very, very clear what the process is. So the first thing was to sign up, and that was signing up onto that uh, the main Carbon Hack website. That's the very first step. So hopefully you've all done that. The second step is to, if you haven't already got inspired, you can get inspired by going to the discussions panel at this top, and they can see there's people looking for teammates. There's ideas that are being proposed and things like that. So feel free to go here and get inspired by a project if you have not already been inspired and submitted a project. Propose a project. So the next step, so you have to sign up on the website first, but the next step is to propose a project. You see there's 44 projects that have now been proposed already at the Green Software Foundation, at the Carbon Hack. But if you want to propose a project, you go on New Issue, and you click on Hackathon Project, and you propose your project there. It does not have to be, I think at this point, it has to be slightly more fleshed out than we have been saying. It doesn't have to be fully fleshed out. We're reading it, we're paying attention, and we are, if you look at the comments on these threads, we're oftentimes jumping in, and some people don't want any guidance or anything at all. So we just wish them good luck and looking forward to your solutions. Some people have more questions. Ask your questions here. We'll weigh in. We'll help support your progress moving forward. So that's definitely the first step of the process. Then that's just at this point, we don't know who you are. You need to realize this. We don't know who you are. We just see a GitHub username. We have no idea. We might be able to link it back to the other thing, but we don't take that as a given. What we ask as a next stage, once you're ready, once you're reasonably sure, and it can be straight away, but once you're ready and reasonably sure where you that you really want to take part, we ask that you actually register your project to officially take part. And this opens up it should be here. Yeah, this opens up a form here. Give us your team name. That's what we'll call you. You have to put the issue URL for the project you're proposing. Let us know who you are, your first name, your last name, your email address, your username. We do apologize. This year round, we used a couple of different platforms, so you will have to repeat a little bit of information. Next year will be better, and we'll consolidate everything into one platform, so you're not repeating your data multiple times. We do apologize for that, but it's also 4 fields, so I don't feel that guilty. But yeah, fill out your information. We didn't, just to let us know like which country you're part of, because I mentioned before there's some countries we just can't pay out to, and that'll help us give you some advice earlier on. let us know if what your affiliation is, especially if your affiliation is with one of the sponsoring organizations. One of the things we do is if you work for one of our sponsoring organizations, we ask for that judge for your company to not um, judge your project, just to ensure there's no, what's the word? Uh,
Conflict of interest.
conflict of interest. That's the one. No conflict of interest. Oh, and yeah, let us know if you don't mind, like some social information. We might tag you in our posts and things like that. We'd love to share the knowledge, and you have to agree with our terms and conditions. You must do this registration. Why must you do this registration? Not only to just let us know, if you want access to some of those community partner information, like if you want access to the Azure credits from Microsoft, then we need your email address. So we only communicate with you through email about that. So you only get that after registering. And again, if you want any of the electricity maps API keys or tokens, you only get that post registration. Um, and also, one of the things we're also being a bit sneaky about, but you have to register. We will send you the submission information only after you've registered. So once you register, we will email you the submission information. We won't put it online. That is because we want you to. We just want to make sure everybody does stuff in the right order, and we don't want people to submit without registering. So you have to register. Once you register, we actually start a mail thread between myself, Joseph, the other people in the team, and yourself. So you then have a private communications channel to ask us stuff because on GitHub, it's all public. Um, so once you register, we start emailing you. We'll give you a mail thread. You can respond or ignore us, doesn't really matter. But at least then you've got our emails and you can contact us if you've got any questions at all about the hackathon, the process, anything like that. And this is also the channel where we connect you with Microsoft if you want Microsoft credits, or you connect you with electricity maps. And this is also the channel where we send you the submission information. So it's very important that you register. I'm belaboring this point, but it's very, very important that you do register. One more thing I'm going to show you here, I think. Oh no, sorry. Yes. So then finally you've got this time to hack. And then finally, the last step in the process is build a team, obviously, hack, and then it's to submit your project at the end. Now, again, what will this? Well, I'm not going to tell you everything right now because you've got to register for us to tell you all this information. What we are going to ask you to do is your issue here, and I'm just going to pick one at random. Um, what we will ask you to do is you will edit your issue here. We're going to have a bunch of headings, and you will fill in that content for those headings, and that's what you have to put. Um, your issue basically becomes your submission. So all the information about your project, your solution will be on this issue. We've got certain headings we want to fill out. Some of them are going to be the ones I mentioned before, like for each prize category, you have to have those headings. And we will also ask you to create a short, under 2 minute video. And that video should just be a demo of what you've built, rather than kind of a broader presentation. But we'll give you a lot more information about that once you register. But just to give you a little bit of insight, your submission process will be to edit the issue you created, add the information that you need, add a video, and this is what we give to the judges. The judges will be going through the issues that they've been assigned and scoring them on our system, and that's how you'll get judged. And finally, from the summary perspective, I'm going to share this very quickly here. Oh, wonderful. There are people. Ah, wonderful. There's people looking for team members, and that's excellent because we've got people here who are looking for for people to join their teams. So I've now shared with you. That's my picture of my wife, by the way. Well, we share a Zoom account, so it's probably bad, isn't it? But we share a Zoom account, so that's my wife's picture. So it's not me. So I just shared here with you a link to a recording of some training that we've been giving over the last couple of weeks. If you manage to get that training, brilliant. You can ignore this perhaps. If you didn't, this is some training that we created for Impact Framework very specifically for the hackathon. So the last video is here. It's watch the video, and then underneath the video we have some useful links, some useful information. It's not really written as like a tutorial, step-by-step tutorial. You have to watch the video. But there's lots of reference files here, which so as you're watching the video, all the files and information, the command lines have also written underneath it. And also the codes if you want to like copy and paste that in and try it yourself. But this is a really good place to go to if you're looking to provide, looking for information about how to actually use Impact Frame. We just kept it here for now. It's not on our main documents right now because it's not really, it needs to be written up in a slightly better way. But it's here for you. Uh, if you want to learn more about Impact Framework, if you want to, get up to date, especially with the latest stuff. So that is all that we have, I suppose, for the hackathon preparation. Very important is please, as I said, I'm just going to review it really quickly, and then we can open up the floor to people wanting to give a quick plug to their projects. So very, very quickly, if you haven't already done so, please sign up on the main website, hack.greensoftware.foundation. I'm sure you already have. I'm sure you all have, but I have to double check. Next up is to propose a project, if you haven't already proposed, on the issues section. If you are looking to join, if people are looking to join, you can just click this registered badge, and then you'll find all the ones, oh, sorry, not registered, sorry, recruiting badge. And then you'll find all the ones that are recruiting. So you can see there's quite a few projects that are recruiting right now. So if you are interested in joining a project, these are the ones that are looking for additional help. And I can see some people on this call are actually looking for projects to join. Brilliant. I thought I did paste that link. Hang on, let me paste it again. Copy link. This is the recording. This is the recording. I have training. Here we go. And where was I? Yep, you have to submit the project with new issue, but very, 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 very importantly, I do not want you to miss out this step, is you have to register once you're ready with your project, please submit this registration form. Without that, we do not know who you are. You're just a GitHub user to us. We have no way of directly communicating with you. This is the only way that we really get to know who you are and can start communicating with you. Or your entire project team needs to register as well, not just you. So we know who everybody is. We know what's going on, what the affiliations are, things like that. I think that's all from me. Yeah, thank you, Michael. Yeah, that's the project's looking for members. Thank you so much. So we have now some time for people. We've got Adam on the panelists. If anybody else who's in the audience is a project lead or somebody in one of the projects that has been proposed in the hackathon and is recruiting, please use the hand raise thing in Zoom and we'll bring you on for a little bit. There's people in this audience who are looking to join projects and it can be a good way for you to pitch. If you're coming on joining and you're pitching, please make sure to let people know how to get in contact with you, which issue to post on or however it is. Yeah, that's it. So I believe we've got, is it just Adam on the call right now? Should you join Adam? Hi, Adam.
Hello.
Hiya. Do you want to give a quick overview? Which project are you working on, and yeah, what are you looking for? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I can't remember exactly the issue name, but it's the Kubernetes monitoring, the real-time
Oh, yeah,
monitoring
yep,
project.
yep, 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 yep.
So
I'll find it.
I think the crux of it is essentially currently the impact framework is kind of a static thing. You have a file, compute the things, get the output, and it's there. But so I work for NetBank, and we have a lot of Kubernetes clusters ongoing, and I think what we really would like is if there was kind of more of a real-time thing in it, so you could make decisions as and when things change. Obviously, this gives us give us carbon metrics as and when things change. So the point of the hack is to kind of using the framework so we know exactly how things go from utilization to carbon, but in near real time. So getting that essentially done.
Yeah. I mean, Kubernetes comes up all the time. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I think, we obviously we started hacking a bit or working today since it started today, which is great. I think I did, I asked one of the questions or Mel one of the questions that I had, but currently the framework or the plugins that we write, we're able to generate observations. That's kind of one of the dynamic things we can, but there's no way currently to generate the tree as well of the infrastructure. And especially with the cloud and with Kubernetes or anything that's kind of dynamic in nature that gets spun up and spun down. If you run this and there's kind of a grouping of things, but it's there then and then it's not there. I think that's currently one of the limitations that I was wondering. I don't think I misread it somewhere. It's currently a thing, but I think that's also one of the things that we kind of need. So I have some ways around it, but obviously a native way would be the best way.
So this is interesting. It's a great question. It's because it's come up with a couple of projects, and I think one of the things I've realized is I think I need to I spend not today, probably tomorrow, writing up the way we would recommend it. So I think that there is so typically what we've now added is there's a built-in plugin called Group By. It's one of the standard libraries. And so what this does is it takes something that's flat, like a flat array, and this will group it by region and then cloud instance type. So you can then see it creates a tree structure underneath. It will take this input and return a tree structure, and then the rest of the plugins will execute with that new tree structure. That we think might. We're still because this is an area we're excited to see kind of what happens. One of the things we wanted to understand is what are your requirements and how does it working out? And this is our first guess as to what we think would be the solution that would meet everybody's needs. But obviously there might be a next version which kind of we learn from everything and change. So that's what we were thinking was that most of these kind of importer models would just return just a whole bunch of data in a flat array. So it might even be, so for instance, how that might impact you is that ultimately for the same time, there'll be different things. And that's
kind of how I figured I'm going to do it for this one, because it seems to be able to work like that. But what I was also thinking is if we take this further and you look at Azure, for example, where things are grouped by resource group, it's not necessarily the same stuff that's grouped by there, and you'd have to be able to differentiate the pipelines that you kind of apply to the different things as well. VMs would not have the same pipeline as a load balancer or web app, for example. So even if they're in the same resource group, you'd have to be able to differentiate those things as well. So that's maybe like a little pre-step that kind of generates the tree and then imports all of the stuff.
But that
would be a cool.
That's you know what, that's a case that I was thinking, no one's gonna want that. It's too advanced. It sounds like it's it is that. So you're saying you not only want to, because with this approach, just for everybody else, for any tree that gets generated, it's the same pipeline that gets applied to everything under that tree.
Essentially,
you're saying there might be a need for sub-trees, like if you group by front end and if you were doing something a front end and back end, you probably would have a different tree, different pipeline for front end and back end. Okay. Well, that is really complicated. You know that's quite.
Yes, it's not. But if you get if you take it to its furthest extent, say you wanted to apply getting the impact of your cloud account, for example, and you give it, these are the credentials for my cloud account, go wild. But then you can kind of predefine, I want to calculate these types of resources in this way. So your pipeline would be defined once still for its type of resource, but then whatever gets defined in your tree, apply that pipeline to it. So you don't have to define it for each and every instance of a thing. You get the instances automatically.
I think this is Derek's going to hate this. But I think because this is the challenge we've got with to be honest with you, with group by was a particularly complicated piece of code to write because like you can imagine you're navigating the tree. And then in the middle of the navigating the tree, there's a whole other subtree, and the logic kind of like. But I think, and I know this is kind of an undocumented feature. So if you implement this, this is can't guarantee it won't change. If that makes sense, we're still.
No.
But I think if your subtree came with a pipeline, I think it would. I think it would execute that new pipeline. We haven't actually. I don't think we specifically tested it. Oh, sorry. You don't know about group by. If you implemented your own, so a group by is a type of plugin, and it just has a different. If you look at the group by actual code, which is in IF models, so it's just a normal plugin like anything else. Where am I going? Joseph, where am I going? Lib. Am I in the right one? I'm in the wrong one.
If you want group by, you need to be in the IF repository, and then it's in models.
Right.
IF models.
Yeah. So
But it's built in.
IF
In fact, go to source.
Source, that's it. Okay, source.
Scroll down.
No? Yeah?
Yep, scroll down. Yep, in source.
Where am I going? I'm lost. Built-ins.
There's built-ins and then group by.
Group by, here we go. So you can see this is just another plugin. It has kind of group by, which is a little bit different. And this is just a little bit different in that it's the same type of plugin. It's got the same execute function for now, and it just returns the tree instead of inputs.
So we can theoretically return a tree as well as okay. That makes it easier. Yeah,
but use at your own risk because
subject to change, not version 1, not stable.
I
get it.
Yeah, you get it. So it's like this, I'm showing you an undocumented feature right now.
But this would essentially solve it. If you could generate the tree kind of with a plugin on the fly, then import essentially the infrastructure, and then define the pipeline maybe with some sort of config that you also put in there, and then go from there.
Yeah.
But if you can generate the tree, that's essentially it.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that. I've been thinking about I think we might need to, this is a future thinking that I haven't really spoken to Joseph about. We might need to break up the pipeline into two, one which generates a tree and another one which processes the tree. And that actually would simplify the logic on our side significantly. Otherwise, you're just like, you don't know what's happening at any given moment in time. At least in this moment, you go, okay, you know what? We're just messing around with the tree right now. And you know what? We're just computing a tree right now. It can kind of like maybe that might be something that we implement in the future. That's the only reason that we haven't like fully. Well, that's not the only reason, but there's the reasons we haven't fully documented this because we're still like it's complicated. This adds a lot of complexity. But it'd be interesting how you build this because another approach you could have. I don't know if anybody's got their hand up actually because it could just be us chatting for half an hour.
There's no hands up right now.
Okay.
But cool. So just on the point of documentation, there is group by documentation in that folder now. Obviously, some of the things that you're just speaking about are not included because they're not implemented, but in the README, there's a group by section.
There's a group by section. Okay.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Brilliant. Yeah. Because the other thing you could do is, I was thinking, because would it be possible for you to just create like an importer for different types? Because in a way, if something needs a different type of pipeline, maybe it deserves like its own component node. And then that's something
I think that is what it would come down to. If you're gonna say import the whole of Azure, it would need its own thing. Obviously, the project we're doing now is obviously starting with Kubernetes, and a pod is a pod, so it's going to have one single pipeline, so it's not an issue here. But I'm seeing for future stuff, when there are a lot of different things, it would need its own thing.
Yeah. This is something. Well, we were excited to see. Like, this is one of the reasons we want to bring impact from it in the world, just to start like raising these things, because if we can do this, then we can solve these problems. I think we can like truly change like how we do measurement for software globally, and that will change everything. That will change all of our worlds. But yeah.
I can definitely imagine a version of group by where part of the config is the pipeline that you want to apply to each of the new groups. We don't do that at the moment. We just inherit the pipeline from the parent, but
Mm.
it's probably not too great a leap to just pass in the new pipeline as a piece of config for each group.
Yeah. You know, when we first started building impact framework, this is kind of a background now. When we first started building impact framework, we were actually originally designing it as almost like a domain specific language or like an SDK. So it was like we were like, this is we first thought we'll make an API. Then we realized, you know what, that's too simplistic. This isn't an API. This is like there's like lots of edge, like what you just described, and like lots of these little, this is the program. This is like something. And then we said, you know what we need? We just need to start testing some of this stuff. So let's start writing out all our test cases in a YAML file. Then the YAML file became everything. But like in a way, what you just described, Joseph, is like quite a complex little. It's like you could represent that as a YAML file, or if it was like a language, you could represent it as like a code construct. And that's kind of like you're developing, like we're almost developing like a domain specific language here for measuring software emissions. There's a lot of, that's one of the things we realize, there's a lot of complexity in this space, and we want to, you know, allow that complexity to surface and allow people to build stuff rather than making things too simplistic, which doesn't solve all those edge cases that you mentioned, Adam. It just doesn't, when you make something too simple, you can't get that. Cool. Is there any other questions?
No, I think that was the main one that I had starting
Yeah.
playing with it. But yeah, no, I think this the group buy stuff. I'll definitely look into that. See how I can use it
Brilliant.
while it's there.
And really excited. I think you've got a large team, haven't you? You're not recruiting. I don't think you. I think you might have.
I don't think I can. I saw the limitation. There's what's it, 5 people. I may have over recruited actually. But yeah, we'll see what we do there.
No, it's okay. We had a chat. We're probably trying to loosen that restriction a little bit because I don't know why. I think that restriction was there more for we took advice for how to structure this hackathon, and I think the advice is more for like a physical conference, a physical hackathon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean. If you have like 20 people in a team, it kind of can be a bit disruptive. But an online conference for me, if there's people that want to take part in a project, I don't really see a reason not to allow them. You know, it doesn't make any sense. You know, just a few more bits flying around the internet. Cool. Any more questions from the audience? Because this could be we could everybody's like raring to go with the hack. We've got Rachel. Do you want to pop on?
I'm just trying to unmute.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Amazing. Yeah, just follow up for what you've just said there. If the teams are going to now potentially be bigger, is there a closing day that we need to arrange or like select a team by? Like for those of us that are joining, I mean, I'm guessing it might take a bit of time for like the teams to sort of open up recruiting again if they can have more space.
Well, you can, the way our rule is quite simple, really. Like if whoever is the person who submitted the issue, we treat as the project lead, and they are like the decider as to who joins the team. To us, it makes no difference if someone joining the team really is like having your name added to the issue and then submitting the register. As long as that happens before the end date, for us, it's fine. Like we really treat kind of the project lead really tells us who's in the team.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's basically how it works. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
Yeah. You looking for a team? You looking to join a
Yeah,
team?
definitely. Yeah, and I've just been looking at the issues list, but I mean, if other ones are opening up potentially, that would also be great. There's some cool projects.
Okay, wonderful. Feel free to pitch yourself. If you wanna like what your skills and anything like that, and maybe some project leads on the call with the. Oh, and probably you want to just pick the ones you want to. And go on. Sorry.
Well, no, I mean, I'm happy to if anyone's saying like, hey, if you want to join. I mean, I'm a Python and JavaScript developer with about 6 years experience. I've done some Ruby in the past a while ago, so if you wanted me to dig up that, I probably could. I'm also quite happy to do writing and sort of content stuff. I have a background in education, so if you want anything that's sort of like sort of learning focused, I'd also be quite interested in those kinds of projects as well. And anything that involves like thinking about user experience is always up my street as well. So if that sounds like something you're looking for in your team, then drop something in the chat.
Brilliant. Sounds great. You cover quite a lot of bases there. So I'm sure there's a project out there that's for you.
Oh, thanks.
All right. Anybody else? That's nothing else. What I'm going to do is I'll go one more time through all of the stuff, and then we'll end the call, and gives time for people to reach out to Rachel. So very quickly again, and I'm actually just one more thing. I'm just going to post it one more time. Is the training. So if you have not taken the training or watched the training, I'll go to the group by the way, Adam, if you want to see that in that training there. So watch the training. Let's go to the where was it going to go? Here we go. So remember to submit your project as a new issue. Submit the hackathon project there. You can see the projects that have been registered, the projects that are recruiting. They're all here. And as if you're here to join a project, just go through there and just post and say there's been so many people who've connected and found project teammates just through commenting on issues and saying, hey, I want to join your project. One of the things I love about our space is we're a little bit more collegiate and supportive of each other than other spaces. So feel free to ask questions. And don't forget to register. I know I'm just absolutely what's the word? Repeating the same thing again and again and again, but please don't forget to register. I don't know where my registration link's gone. It's gone somewhere. I'll post it again at the top. So don't forget to register, and then yeah, once you registered, we will make sure that's where you get information about how to submit. That's where we connect you with Microsoft if you want some of their credits. That's where we connect you to electricity maps if you want some of their APIs, and that's where you can have a direct communication with us if you need to have a private conversation about something. Yeah, I just answered your question, Nastia. So Nastia's asking, how can we be assisted in case of questions or tech issues? So if you want to have a private conversation, as I said, once you register the team, you'll be added to a mail thread, and then you can just email us, and we'll just respond. If you've got questions about the hackathon, you go into the hack repo, and just don't put in issues if you can, put it in discussions. Just ask a question here. So you've got ask anything here to ask anything you want. If you've got matchmaking, project support, just ask anything there. It actually goes into a Slack channel of ours, and we get all of the stuff happening on our Slack channel, so we always respond. And again, thank you so much, Michael. Again, you've been so helpful. So there's also an email address called carbonhack@Green Software Foundation. If none of that's working for you, you can email us there, and we will all the teams on that mail thread. And again, we're all just here to help you. Yeah. And yes, collaboration across participating teams could actually be interesting. Is combining some newly developed plugins could be super useful. That is a great idea. That's a great idea. Like one of the things that's really powerful about Impact Framework is the pipeline of plugins. And like I'd actually told the team we're going to spend some time after the hackathon, like working with each of you to try and make your plugins, to ensure your plugins all work together with each other, because that's just so much more powerful. But if we can do that during the hackathon, that's even better. I don't know how we can reward you for that. Maybe we will just have a big thumbs up for being good team players. But yeah, that would be really, really good. We should have put that as a prize. That should be nothing. Oh, we should have thought that as like a prize criteria. Like how well does your plugin work with other plugins in the actually, it is actually that is one of the prize criteria, but we can just that. Thank you, Joy. That's such a wonderful statement. We wish we thought of that, making that more specific in the hackathon. But yeah. Okay. No other questions? Yeah. Oh. People are just see. I'm just a pause for a second for the people watching. I just there's connections being made in the chat. I'm hesitant to close it in case there's anybody else that still wants to chat because it's Zoom and all the chat kind of goes away. So so I'll just kind of leave it there and talk randomly for a moment about things. I don't know. What should we talk about? Don't know. If as do you know, here's a great thing as well. Like if as you're developing, like the entire like the team that's working on it is kind of like wondering what you're all going to say and what feedback you're going to give. And they've kind of like cleared out their calendars, not cleared it out, but they've made sure there's lots of space to deal with. We know you're going to find bugs. We know you're going to find issues. You're going to find usability issues. Yeah, thanks, Michael. Feel free to, honestly ask anything. If you see any issues with Impact Framework, if you see anything a bit, do you know what? If we did it this way, it'll be better. Give us feedback. We know there's logging is a little bit light, so if you get annoyed with some of the logging, post it on there. Let us know. Let us give us your feedback. The dev team. Oh, I should have mentioned this. Very important. It's on code freeze right now. Impact Framework. The main branch, if you want to take the main branch, is now not going to be touched unless it's super urgent. It's not going to be touched at all until after the hackathon. We're not exactly too sure what we're going to do, but Joseph, I think we agreed to have a dev branch, right? So we'll be changing the dev branch as with fixes as we go along. Again, use that at your risk, but we have tested the hell out of the main branch and it is stable as we can get it. And if you just want to make sure everything's okay, then use the main branch. But if there's things that you raise during the hackathon and we're doing hot fixes, we'll be just fixing the dev branch. You can feel free to use that. But again, we do have a QA and a process, but obviously it's the dev branch, so it might be a little bit more tricky. Oh, anonymous attendee. Yes. If you share with anonymous attendee that link to the training, and I think that training I've given also covers actually I've got it myself. I can type it in. Anonymous attendee. Maybe it is anonymous. That training I just sent you that I've been sharing on here, that at the end of that training, I show how I create a plugin. So so it has, and that link also has all the code for that plugin as well. But yeah, have the conversations stopped? Looks like they've stopped. So, thank you, anonymous attendee. Thank you, anonymous attendee. I can't keep on saying anonymous attendee. So I think that's it. Unless there's anything else, we will finally drop. Good luck, everybody. Honestly, what you're doing here is really transformational. What you're going to do here is going to change and grow the green software ecosystem dramatically. And as I said before, it's going to change the face of computing. I know I talk big about a lot of this stuff, but I truly believe that what we're doing here was impossible a few years ago. With this, we will absolutely change. Everything will be measured. All the software will be measured, and that's going to change so many things that we do with software. And it's going to make sustainability a priority in software development. That's what you're all taking part in right now. I think that's it. Yeah. There's a question. Hack Gamer, how do I find it? I'm just going to answer this, but you can all drop off now. There is a gaming. There's an Xbox one. If that's the one you're talking about, where's the Xbox one? And they're recruiting. If that's what you're looking for, Mohammed. That's the one. Hopefully. Take the link, Mohammed, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, well, bye all. Bye.